A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. And in this channeling session, I would be talking about the Divine Masculine, propagating a big change in the Divine Feminine. And I have been getting these messages since a long time now. And at first, it's been literally 2-3 years. At first, I really did not know what to do with this information, and I saw a lot about their perspective, and then I could understand what those messages meant. And also one more thing, I feel that be it a transgender, be it a homosexual, or be it someone who is in the twin flame journey, or anybody who's different for that matter, they always face a lot of trouble, a lot of insult, a lot of humiliation, and lack of support from those who are close to them because they judge them. And this is something that is not in your control. To be in a twin flame journey is not in your control. Every gender, every being, not just the gender, but every being, every different being is created by the universe. It's created by God. It's very painful when someone has to force themselves. Somebody has to act in such a way, or they are beaten up, or they are tortured, or they are thrown out of the house, or they are poked all the time, or they are made fun of, or they are treated in inhuman ways. Like, how you wouldn't even treat a pet animal. You won't even treat an animal on the street like that. So how can people expect you to not act in the way that God has created you? So this is a very big pain, and this channeling is dealing with this pain. And I know that a lot of people will resonate with it, even if you are not in a same-sex relationship. I started feeling a lot of, you can say, empathy, but also I felt there's some kind of similarity, because in the twin flame journey also, you are different, you know that, because you have the star seed DNA, and most star seeds are in the twin flame journey because since childhood they have this deep sense of longing for true love, real love. I started connecting with a lot of their pain, especially, when I would find out that a certain person who's transgender or who's a homosexual has been forced to leave their house, has been thrown out of their house at a young age because the parents or the family members don't connect with them, and they feel that, being different is some kind of a curse or is some kind of a shame that they're bringing to the family. So those people also, some of them have to go through really hard lives, some of them. But it is still, I think, much better for educated people who are in the we can say not in the lower stratas but in the higher stratas or educated stratas of society, especially if they are in the same sex relationship. It is still slightly better. I won't say it's completely better, because nobody's pain is less or small. Everybody goes through something or the other. And in this channeling session, what is very important is the same energy that the Divine Feminine, basically she had a little bit of inhibition. So this Divine Feminine is somebody who obviously knew since childhood that she was different, and she was not straight, of course. But then it was not easy for her to actually, live with this, because in her family it was not accepted at all. And they would probably think that this is some kind of a unnatural thing, a crime, inhuman act or something like that. So it was the Divine Masculine whose love made her feel that, it's time to reveal it all. Though the family knew, because she had given bits and pieces about her sexuality. But publicly she was not willing to take that step further because she wasn't sure. At that point in time, she also wasn't sure, she wasn't aware that she was in a twin flame journey, or this person who she had fallen so deeply in love with, if that love is real or not, because it was the initial phase. But what happened that the Divine Masculine started getting irritated, because he was he was not at all ashamed, or he was not hiding his sexuality at all, because not only he is masculine energy, but being a girl, despite being in a female body or a woman's body, he looks like a man, and he dresses up like a man, and he behaves like one. That is a clear way of living that he chose. He or she, whatever, doesn't matter here, was very clear about that choice. He also got support from the family, and it was very normal for him to live like that. But when the Divine Feminine fell in love with him, she was very happy, of course, because she'd never felt this way with anyone. It was a beautiful relationship, everything was great. But this inhibition in her, of expressing, or, in many cases, she would not even reveal that she's dating him or she's in a relationship with him. Not only because it was the sexuality, of course, that was a very small reason, but at that point in time, it was also because she wasn't sure if this is the right person or not. But this unsurety, or this lack of being secure, was taken as lack of loving your sexuality, or lack of being seen with this person. This is how he saw it, or she saw it. So there was a big fight, or there were fights about it. But then the Divine Feminine also started questioning herself as to what is it, who is she really? And for how long is she going to not tell her whole family about it? Like, maybe one or two people knew, maybe the sister knew, or maybe, the mother knew, or maybe someone else knew, but not everyone. So after getting into separation phase, the first thing she did is this. She accepted who she is clearly, and she didn't even have to use words. She just accepted it in her energy, and everyone else around her adjusted to it. There were obviously some situations which were not very pleasant, but the feminine was like, this is it. I am going to live my authentic life. And she feels very thankful for the Divine Masculine for making her do this, for putting her in those situations. But now that they are in separation, there is no contact or no communication, this Divine Feminine is actually feeling very empowered. She feels actually blessed that all of this happened, and there was this tug of war, there was this runner-chaser dynamic which happened like time and again. He would run away, she would chase him, then he would come back. And because coming out and living in the closet, these are very common things that we hear about the homosexual community. But that is not how it is in their world. For some of them, it is very naturally accepted. But for some of them, it happens gradually with time. Like they would not know about it when they were children, but they would know once they are in teens, or they would probably date some people and then find out that no, I'm not very comfortable with this, but I'm really comfortable with that. Or they have probably dated people from the opposite sex, but suddenly they meet someone who, despite being from the same sex, feels like the more real or most real relationship, or the most real lover. So in this channeling, I would now stick only to these two people, not the whole community. These two people also, they are like any other regular couple. They have the fights, they have the problems, and there are karmics too, and there have been these flings. Everything was the same. The runner would run away, then probably want to go to someone else, and the feminine would be behind, crying, sobbing, feeling bad. But then she got the empowerment, and this channeling is about the empowerment, because now she is no longer in that zone that the masculine should come back to me, or I should get into the union, or he should understand where I was coming from, because he was getting everything from his family. He was getting all the support, all the love, all the money, everything to be himself. There was no abuse as such. But I went through so much abuse. I went through all these financial problems. In my childhood, I had to suffer so much, but I had all of these issues with confidence in being who I am, because my family was only pulling me down. So he maybe had a great experience with his family, but not with the outside world. And she, on the other hand, had a great experience with the outside world, or people who are not related to her in the blood or, by relationship in terms of biology. But, so you understand this feeling, whosoever is resonating with it. So she feels, but there is this anger in her where she feels that he did not understand her issues, her pain, her trauma. Even if, it was like he was also in a big hurry to get that commitment from her, or get that intimacy from her, or get that closeness from her, which she was not comfortable doing so soon. She wanted to take her time. She wanted to spend time on her own. And as per this energy of this channeling, and the guidance is, the guidance comes with it these days. The thing is that she feels now that she was right. And yet she was chasing him, yet she was convincing him, yet she was the pacifier. Whereas he was just acting like a child or somebody who's very privileged, and he wanted things the way he thought is correct. If she would say something which is not matching with his thoughts, or, even if she would argue with him, or even if she would say anything, do anything that would not massage his ego, he would flip and he would go crazy. He would snap at her and he would accuse her. So the Divine Feminine got really irritated with her, because her problem, she felt that he never understood her problems, the world she came from. She feels that she was gullible, she was naive, and she got easily duped by him. She trusted him too much. So what has he done? He's taken a lot from her, she feels, and he never understood the problems, because love is not just about you, your own needs. Love is also to understand if a certain person is not in agreement with something, then what could be the reason. So she feels that he never really wanted to have a conversation like this with her, to understand what is the reason, why is she upset, or why is she not able to, commit so easily, or why is she taking her own time. So that lack of impatience was there in him. And when she tried to work it out, and when she gave everything to him as a girlfriend or as a partner, it was he who backed out, or he who said that, this is not working out, that is not working out. So though there is a lot of problems, she feels that he treated her very, very badly. What he did is so inhuman, she feels, so wrong on so many levels. Like, she obviously doesn't know his side of story. She doesn't know why he did all of those things. But from her perspective, she feels that he's definitely much more privileged than her, because he got the biggest support. It is a very big support to get, since childhood, to be in a family who accept your sexuality, accept you as you. That is a very big support, she feels, because she never had that. It was very hard for her to reach to that place, but she's very thankful to the Divine Masculine, because if the Divine Masculine would not have left her, would not have run away from her, or would not have even come into her life for that matter, she would have never found out who she really is, and the brilliance that came with it, the empowerment that came with it, the gratitude that has come with it, because now she truly feels very liberated. She feels like she's never felt like this before. There is a deep sense of freedom. She can do whatever she wants. It's like she was carrying a huge sack of, shame and guilt like a baggage, but she no longer carries it. So now she's free from that. She threw that sack away, because of him. She told her family, this is who I am. And even though I'm not dating anyone, but this is my preference. She also feels that, when someone goes through abuse, until and unless someone else has gone through abuse as well, or someone else has a hard life, like, they don't understand. And she feels that the Divine Masculine never really had a genuine problem. He never really faced anything in life, he never really saw anything. He was so protected, so guarded, so loved, so taken care of. He can never understand where she came from, the world that she lived in for so many years. So she has decided that she's very thankful to him, but she does not want to connect back with him again. She does not want to do anything with him. She wants to be happy. She wants to live her own life. And she feels this sort of a big disconnect with him. She's not able to connect with him on in the way that she used to really love him at one time. She could feel him, she could sense him, but now she doesn't feel him, sense him, doesn't feel anything related to him. Other than the biggest feeling that had he not been there, I wouldn't have been here today. So she's immensely grateful to him, and she feels like, wow, only he could have done this. No other person, no other man or a woman would have made me do this. Only he could do this, because the love she felt for him, or the attraction she felt for him, that also gave her a lot of answers, that I am attracted to him. I can do anything for him. I want to live the rest of my life with him. I want to live under the same roof with him. But after whatever happened between them, she feels that after I told him my struggles, how can he be so insensitive? And how can he neglect me? How can he ignore me? How could he do that? Because this silent treatment or this neglect, she feels, is a form of abuse, because he knew how much she loved him and how much he mattered to him. But now she feels like a free bird, and she does not even want to connect back with him. She feels that, she's in union already. She feels like that. She feels that I am so happy. I got what I really needed in my life. I don't know what my next years would be, 10, 15 years, but this moment, this time, right now feels perfect, because I feel happy within myself. I am content. No matter how I look, no matter how I am, no matter what my sexual preference is, I am very happy now, and I'm very content, and I can live the rest of my life like this. I can live literally the rest of my life like this, and I can also help other women, other people who are probably going through this type of a shame or a guilt. I can help them, I can heal them too. She's in that zone. She's also considering, to put in some hours of her life to help people, to work for probably some kind of a suicide line, a suicide helpline, or, this type of a therapy where homosexuals or people who have different sexuality types, like could be asexual also. Even asexual people go through a lot of trauma, trust me. There is also a channeling for asexuals. It's not easy to be an asexual and then live in a world where everybody wants nothing but sex from you in a relationship. So how they deal with it, how they come out of it is not easy. So she wants to help such people too. She wants to blog about it. She wants to, share awareness, create some awareness about it. And she also realizes that there is good and bad throughout, everywhere on this planet. So whatever bad the Divine Masculine did to her has actually turned out to be a blessing. It has actually turned out to be something really good, which she feels like had it not happened to her, she would have never felt this type of freedom and relief in her life. So on that note, thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.